Welcome, students, to Verb Tenses Made Simple with Benkyo Academy. This is Tom. Verb tenses, there are 16 of them. 16 verb tenses. That's a lot of verb tenses. But how do we get 16? Well, 16 is 4 times 4, right? There are 4 different ways to describe time. There is present, right now. There is past, right? What happened before, now. And there is future, what will happen or what you think will happen. And then there's a peculiar little one called past future. So think about it like this. If I said, last Sunday, I told my friend that we would play basketball together tomorrow. That tomorrow has already passed because I said that sentence last Sunday. Right? We know the results of what happened. But from their perspective, he doesn't. So he doesn't know what's going to happen on the tomorrow, whereas I know, right? Past future, we generally use it in the form of a conditional. So, would. I shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Man, I should have picked C for question 3. You know, I didn't know the answer. I was guessing. I should have picked C. Always pick C, right? You agree, right?
Yeah, that's me in like every test. Oh my god.
Yeah, like A is too small, D is too big, and then B is like an even number. You guys get what I mean. So there's also 4 states. What are states? Simple state. Just I do. I am a thing doer. I am a basketball player. I play basketball. I am the one who knocks. I am, I do, right? We are, simple. And in the past, it would be did and verbed. I did and I played. I did do this. Or I did play basketball. I played basketball, right? I will play basketball. There we go. And then I would play basketball. So the last one, past future, is generally given in a conditional. So I would play basketball if you book the courts or if you bring a ball, something like that. And then there's continuous state. I am playing basketball. I haven't stopped. I've been doing it continuously, right? I am playing basketball and I'm still doing it. It's like a fluid. I'm still doing it. I'm in motion, right? Whereas I play basketball, it could be I play basketball generally, like I know how to. I've done it before and I'll do it again. You know, I'm a basketball player. I do that. I do that maybe as my job or maybe once every week, something like that. But I am playing basketball implies that I'm doing it right now, right this second. So I was playing basketball yesterday. That was just, I am playing basketball, but in the past, right? If you had a time machine and you would go ask that version of me, he would say something like, you ask him what he's doing, he would say, I am playing basketball, right? And me, from the future, from his future, looking past at him, I'm looking back on him, and I'm saying, wow, I was playing basketball just then. Right. And then there's, I will be playing basketball. So in the future, right? If all goes according to plan, then if I take a time machine to the future, I'll see a guy playing basketball, right? I ask him what he's doing. He'll say, I'm playing basketball, right? And then I come back to my present time. I'm like, wow, I will be playing basketball tomorrow. I saw it in the time machine. Man, now I really do have to go play basketball. Otherwise, I'll cause a paradox. And then there's I would be playing basketball, right? I would be, but something came up, you know? I would be playing basketball right now, but I have a broken leg, you know? Like, let's say I'm the star player for my school's basketball team. I can dream, right? And then I'm sitting on the bleachers, right? I'm not playing. And then one of the guys in the crowd, he asked me, hey, why aren't you playing right now? And I'm like, man, I would be playing, but look at my leg, something like that. Perfect. So perfect implies completion. I have played basketball. right? Or I have done my homework, right? I've done it before. I'll do it again. Trust me, right? I can do it. I can play basketball. I've done my homework. It's like a reassurance. You get that, right?
Yep, I get that. It's sort of
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I had played basketball. That implies that you've done it in the past, and it also implies that you aren't ready to do it again, right? Like, I had played
There's a
basketball in the
condition.
past.
There's a condition.
Yeah, yeah. I had played basketball in the past, but I don't know, man. I've changed my ways. I've 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 moved on to something more productive with my life. I'm an accountant now. You know. Uh
Mm-hmm.
and then there's I would have played basketball, like when someone asks you, "Hey, why didn't you choose basketball?" Right? I would have played basketball, but my older brother, he didn't want me to play basketball, right? He wanted me to play table tennis with him, right? He told me that was the cooler sport. I listened to him like an idiot, right? Should have played basketball. And then there's should. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? I could have played basketball, but, I lost my leg in a shark attack, something like that. Excuses, basically.
Okay.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. Meaning that if the meddling kids did not exist, then Christian would have he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for perfect continuous. It's a combination of perfect implying completion and continuous implying that you're still doing it, which sounds weird, but that is a state you can be in. I have been playing basketball for 10 hours by now, right? 10 hours and counting. So a lot of the times when you see perfect, you'll see since after it. So I have played basketball since I was a child, right? Meaning that I started my basketball journey as a child, right? I've been doing it all this time, right? You'll say I have been doing it all this time, right? I have been playing basketball. And then if you want to imply that you've stopped and that this chapter of your life is in the past, you'll say, I had been playing basketball, right?
Mm,
But the terrible car accident forced me to stop.
that's tough.
Yeah. And then there's, I will have been playing basketball, which very rarely is said, if you'll notice. Sometimes you might say it like this: I will have been playing basketball for 3 hours if I stopped right now, right? Um, And then there's I would have been playing basketball, which is a conditional. I would have if not for this, right? I could have been playing basketball right now, but I choose to do something else, right? I choose to study on Benkyo Academy. Questions?
He wants to be a doctor.
Right, correct. Simple tense. He is a person who is in a state of wanting to be a doctor. And if all goes according to his plan, he will be a doctor in the future once he gets his degree and completes his what's it called? Residency? Anyway, she fell off the ladder when he something the roof.
When he mended the roof?
Ah, no. So the answer is actually was mending.
Okay,
So
why?
right, there are no gaps in the timeline. This is continuous. So the way they phrased it, it implies that he caused her somehow to fall off the ladder, right? Maybe he's mending the roof, she's on the ladder doing something else, right? Maybe holding the tools, or I don't know what he could have done to make her fall off, but maybe he mended it wrongly somehow. Um, but if he caused her to fall off the roof, then the timeline is continuous, right? It is complete.
Okay.
He was mending the roof. He was applying the glue, putting the tile pieces on. She was on the ladder doing something, I don't know.
Mm.
He slips up, he makes a mistake, and then that mistake causes her to fall off the ladder. So she was on the ladder, she started falling, and then she hit the ground, and then she's unconscious. I don't know what happened to her, but it's a continuous timeline, right? There are no gaps in the timeline, and it is fell, so the whole story happened in the past. So it would be was mending.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it was taking place a continuous process in the past.
Yeah, it was a
Oh, so
continuous,
that's why it was
it was a
more.
causal relationship.
Oh, okay.
She was
That's why.
doing this, he was doing this. She stopped being on the ladder and started falling off, right? And
Okay,
then
yeah.
she hit the ground, converting some kinetic energy into elastic potential energy,
Okay.
stored inside her bones, which would surely ricochet back and crack them. And she's something unconscious since 4 o'clock.
Okay. Can. All right. Great, great. So try the
No,
next one.
it's not great. It's terrible. It's a horrible accident. Shouldn't laugh.
All right. She was she was unconscious since 4 o'clock.
Uh, Actually, that's wrong. So if you notice the word since, remember what I said about perfect and perfect continuous? Generally,
Oh, so it
yes,
has been.
yes.
Oh, okay.
So she started being unconscious at 4 o'clock. I don't know if it's precisely or if it's roughly. But at 4 o'clock, she fell unconscious, right? She became unconscious somehow, maybe from falling off a ladder. We don't know. Uh, and she has been this way this whole time with no gaps, right? Um,
Okay.
so
So it's
it
been a,
is has been it is perfect continuous. She's been like this for no gaps, right? And she is still like this. She hasn't woken up yet, right?
okay.
Because nothing in the sentence implies that she's woken up, right? If she woke up, she might say something along the lines of, oh man, I I've been unconscious since 4 o'clock, right? That's like present. I guess she stopped being unconscious, but she hasn't realized that yet. She still say that. And then when she goes to the doctor, when she goes to the first guy in the first question, the doctor, she might say something along the lines of, "Well, I had been unconscious since 4 o'clock. I woke up at some other o'clock, right? Maybe 6 or 7, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
So because the word since is a huge hint that it's supposed to be.
it's a huge hint. It's a dead giveaway.
Alright.
Right,
Okay.
last one.
I haven't seen him since we met a year ago.
Right. So once again, you see the since that implies that it's going to be a perfect or perfect continuous. And
Okay.
yeah, it's I haven't seen him since we met a year ago. Um it's been like this since we met. I still haven't seen him, right?
Mm.
It's
Okay.
ongoing, so it's present tense. If we look at the Punnett square, it's going to be present
Oh, okay.
tense, and it's going to be perfect continuous. It's been like this for a year, right? And it's still going on, right? So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
imagine if you will, a police officer comes along to him and he says, or he goes up to I, and he says, "Mr. I, have you seen this man?" Right? And then I would say, "I haven't seen him since we met a year ago." Right?
Okay.
"Have you seen him recently?" "No, I haven't seen him recently." Right?
Okay.
I haven't seen him, in fact, since we met a year ago. Right?
Mm.
So, that's the end of the lesson.
All right.
Enjoy.
Okay.
Have a good
Thanks,
day.
thanks, thanks, Tom. I'll work on my tenses now.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
thank you.